All right. Now it's time for our second storyteller. She represents the Peak Foundation. It's an organization whose mission is to rally communities to champion youth, mental health, and wellness. Please welcome Molly Jones. Molly.
So, you know those 4th of July parades that neighborhoods will have? Everybody comes out. You've got parents pulling their kids in wagons, and a lot of people are walking, and people are on bikes. I remember one of those many years ago. I'm there, I've got my 5 children. We're all waving flags. 4 of them were walking with me, but one, Pete, he's on this little bike. It's one of those bikes for 3 or 4-year-olds. It's got training wheels and pedals, but no brakes. So we enjoy the parade. It's a beautiful morning, and now it's time to head home. We're walking home, and before I could tell Pete, you probably should get off that bike so we can walk it, he starts down a hill. And that little bike picked up so much speed, so fast, and the little flags he's holding with the handlebars are just flapping like crazy. And I'm frantic. I'm yelling, Pete, stop, stop. But of course he can't stop. He puts his feet down to try to slow himself down, and I see his brown suede shoes dragging along the road. I'm frantic. At the bottom of this hill is a cross street, and they don't have a stop sign. Just after that street, it goes down into a ditch with a rocky bottom about 8 feet down. I've got to stop Pete. I can't catch him. So I yell, Pete, Pete, turn into the grass. Go to the left. Turn into the neighbor's front yard. Now this is one of those neighborhoods. It's got no curbs, no sidewalks, just the blacktop touching right up to the nice straight grass. So Pete does just that. He steers into the grass. Now I thought I was going to probably have to sue the crying child who crashes on the grass. But he just goes straight across that front yard and comes to a nice stop on the upright bike. I catch up to him just as he's getting off the bike. I give him a big hug. I assess the damage. It's fine. He's not hurt. He's not upset. He's amazed at the adventure he just had. His shoes are destroyed, but all is well. The rest of the kids catch up to us, and we walk the rest of the way home. I think about that day often because it kind of encapsulates how we raise and how we care for our children. We take old wisdom, things we learn through time from our parents and our friends in everyday conversation, such as wear a helmet and shoes when you ride a bike, walk on the left side of the street. And then we make use of what I call a toolkit, and it's the ability to take that knowledge and, given the circumstances at hand, make quick decisions, such as knowing that I needed to slow Pete down and I had grass to do it. For Pete, it was knowing that he could drag his shoes to try to slow down. Old wisdom and a good toolkit. So over the next 20 years, Pete grows up to be this really kind, empathetic, generous young man. He gets his college degree in mechanical engineering. He's the rock for his friends, the one that they come to for support, kind words, or a good laugh. But for 11 years, Pete was flying down a hill and nobody saw it. In the final year, I became aware of his depression. And although I was trying to help him, I had no old wisdom and no toolkit. I only had my heart and my fears. I didn't know to ask him, are you thinking of hurting yourself? I didn't know to ask him, are you thinking of ending your life? I wouldn't have known what to do with the answer. I didn't know about the different treatments for depression. Maybe one of those was that green grass I could have steered him toward. I only had to trust in his psychiatrist. And in all this time, Pete stayed his kind, generous self. One day his sister Michelle was trying to build a bookcase out of reclaimed wood and she couldn't get the corners right. It wasn't going to stand up. She left the project, a pile of wood and tools in the basement. The next time she goes down into the basement, there's this bookcase, 4 shelves tall, staring at her, almost smiling at her. Pete had gone down and completed it without saying a word to anybody. That quiet act meant so much to Michelle. Pete was really the kind of person this world needs. But in the still of winter, in the cold darkness of winter, he lost his battle with depression. And something became clear to us. We lost our precious Pete, but the world is losing a lot of great people every day because we have a deadly illness and we're doing too little, too late to stop it. Pete left us with some final thoughts. Among them was a desire that his body be donated to science because he, and I quote, wanted to help mankind. In his deepest suffering, he considered what he could do for others, what he could do for us. We immediately knew it was the way Pete lived his life that was the true gift. He made it clear to us that we have to stop this deadly illness. And we can. We could create a world where conversation about mental health is an open dialogue. We can further education and research. We can improve the standards for mental health care, and we can make sure access to that care is available for everybody. And it's for that purpose that we formed the Pete Foundation. And each of us individually can begin by building our toolkit. Begin by building our wisdom bank, because with that, we'll build our toolkit. The Pete Foundation can help build that wisdom bank, because everybody should have old wisdom and a good toolkit, not only for their child's physical safety, but their mental safety and wellness also. Thank you.
Molly Jones. Thank you, Molly. Thank you. Thank you so much for the work you do, and thank you for introducing us to Pete. I just want to mention that, one resource, one piece of the toolkit one tool in the toolkit that Pete didn't have, that we have now, is 988, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you or anyone you know is in crisis, you can call or text 988 or go to 988lifeline.org. Hearing Molly's story made me think of something else. When we talk about Pete, and when we talk about the people we lost 2 years ago today, they deserve to be remembered not just for how they died, but how they lived. So I asked... Okay. So I asked Molly to give me a few other details about Pete that I thought I would share. Pete loved to cook, and he could do curry, he could do barbecue, he made a mean fried chicken taco that sounds fantastic right now, and he loved football and basketball. And he loved just watching great athletes compete at a high level, more than he loved any particular team, although, for the record, Pete was a Louisville Cardinals fan.